why I had to shut down my Airbnb rental business. Hi everyone, my name is Anmol. I am 19 years old and I have done Airbnb rental business, one of my 4 to 5 startups that I have started. So let's talk about that. So first of all, let me explain what actually Airbnb rental business is all about, so that you will get the clarity and it will be easy for you to understand throughout the video what I will be talking about. So it's basically when you go to a landlord, ask him if you can list his property on Airbnb, and then you make the house well furnished with sofa, bed, AC, heater, everything that you can think of what a guest might need in a house. And then you will be hosting the guest that you will bring through Airbnb. So it's as simple as it sounds. So how it all started? So I did some research about the number of travelers who book Airbnb in my area frequently. And I found that averagely the occupancy rate is about 50%, which means from a 30 days in a month, your house or your flat will be booked approximately 50%. So I did some calculation that if I list it on Airbnb, let's say on 1500 rupees, then if it will be booked for 15 days, then 1500 into 50, 22,500. And the rent was approximately 10,000, and electricity bill was somewhere around 1,000 or 1,500. So after that, I will be left with 10,000 approximately. You can calculate it by yourself. So I found that pretty good to start with, and as you all know, I did. So to start this business, I went to Tilaknagar to buy some sofas. I went to I think 16 to 17 stores and found a good quality low price sofa that I can put there. I found a bed, then I bought refrigerator, then I bought AC, all the stuff that you can imagine that can be there on a particular house. So I have paid approximately 1 lakh rupees to get all the stuff that is necessary for the house, paid the rent, paid the security deposit, so that I can be good to go. So I started this, and what challenges did I face? First, cleaning. Like whenever a guest checks out and I had to clean the house by myself, and if the check-in time of the next guest is pretty close, then I didn't have that much window to do the work. So what difficulty I faced there is I had to be available in that particular time so that I can clean up the house, and if I hire someone to clean the house, so then the profit margin will be trimmed, right? So what I was thinking is, for now, let's do it by own, and once I grow with that, I will hire someone to do all this so that I can get really good value for money, that someone can manage like 3-4 houses for me, and then I can pay him a particular amount at the end of each month. That I thought would be the nice idea. So I was cleaning the house by myself, and it took a lot of time because whenever parties and all happens on my Airbnb place, the guests left the house really dirty. I will show you some videos what it looks like after hosting a party at Airbnb. Of course, capital. Like a lot of people will not that liberty that invest 1 lakh upfront and then see if that works or not. Because a lot of old guys that will have that much amount of money will not think about this when it comes to property and all. They will simply think, if I will have to do this, I may simply buy a house and then put that on rent. They will not think about Airbnb renting business. And the young ones like us who will think to do this will not have that much amount of money to put upfront. So second is capital. Fortunately, I had that amount of money to start the business, and I did. But then I had to face a little bit financial crisis at my end, but I managed that somehow. The third challenge is management, because whenever you are doing Airbnb rental business, you have to manage time, because there will be checkout time, check-in time of the next guest. You need to make sure that it will not collapse each other. Otherwise, you will have to face a bad review on your profile, because then guest will have to wait outside the door unless the previous guest checks out. So it is really a headache to manage all this stuff, but you have to manage it, right? So the problem I was facing is, although I had fixed check-in time and checkout time, which is 12 p.m. afternoon, but I had to face a lot of problem that sometimes guests might be drunk at night and sleep late, and then at 12 they might not pick up my call, and at 1 they will be check-in that may be there. So I had to really manage all the stuff, because I did have only 1 hour of window to maybe clean all the stuff and ask guests to check out all the stuff. So it has become a really active job where I had to be involved at each and every day to make sure that things working properly. So the time management of the check-in time and the checkout time of the guest, we have to make sure that there must be at least 3 to 4 hour difference in them, so that any uncertainties that might happen may be tackled. The fourth and foremost challenge is uncertainties. So I had a bad experience when 3 guests came from Northeast, and they were like staying at my place, and they were drunk pretty heavily at the night, and they broke my TV, they broke my sofa, and broke some switchboards. And then at the very morning, the next day, they checked out at 7 or I think 7:30 a.m. That time I was sleeping. They didn't call me. They simply texted me that, okay, we are checking out. We have train early morning. So I'm keeping the door open and going. Then I woke up at 10 a.m. and then I saw that I was feeling that there must be something fishy. Then I straight away went to the house, which is 100 meters away from my place. Then I saw broken TV, broken sofa, broken switchboards. I was really depressed. And when I called him, he was not picking up my call, which was like obvious that why would he pick up the call after doing all the stuff. So I had really bad experience, and after that I had contacted Airbnb, but I couldn't get any help. And yeah, this guest I was not got from Airbnb. They had texted me, and then they texted the number, and at the very early days I was thinking, okay, if I take booking offline, then I will not have to pay service fee to Airbnb, which is 20% of the total booking amount. So to save that particular amount, I asked them to do offline payment, and they did Google Pay me, and then I hosted them by blocking those dates on Airbnb calendar, and I had to pay the price. So the learning which I took from that particular experience is always have the booking from Airbnb and don't go for offline unless you trust the particular customer. If that's maybe second or third time you are hosting that particular client. If something that happens, Airbnb will compensate you. I don't know the exact process and exact compensation, but Airbnb definitely will help you out. So in that case, neither I had booking from Airbnb nor they were picking up my calls, so I had to pay the price on my own. I had to buy new TV, I had to repair my sofa, I had to buy new switches and replace all the broken stuff. And the last challenge that I faced, which is I think fifth point, is neighborhood. You can have everything working properly. You will have no uncertainty. You will have all booking from Airbnb. You will be managing time properly. You can do all the points that I have talked about very cleverly and very right. But the last thing that you might not control is your neighborhood. Let's suppose some guest comes in and they will be like staying for, let's say, 4 to 5 days, and after 4 to 5 days another guest will come in, and likewise 1 month or 2 months things will happening, and your neighborhood will think, okay, so there's something suspicious going on. They will not be supportive. A typical Indian mindset, they will be thinking that it's not the right stuff that these guys are doing. They might see that as a shady thing, but that's the truth. And the neighborhood we cannot control. We may go to very posh area in New Delhi, but still will see all these kind of criticism from the neighbors that I don't know what kind of guest you are bringing in. They are like doing parties late night, they are disturbing us. And to a certain level, their concerns is also right. Like, no one wants to see new faces every day or every 5 days in their neighborhood. They want to be familiar with the family, with the bachelor who are living there, right? So exactly that happened to me, that all the neighbors, it was like 4 flats were there on a particular floor, so 16 houses in particular building. So all those 15 people that were there were against me, that they don't want to see new faces every 5 to 6 days. They don't want me to host Airbnb on my property, even though I had consent with the landlord. So they just pushed me to close my business, and this is what exactly happened. I had to shut it down. And last thing, how much I was making from Airbnb. So I was making somewhere around, although in the very beginning I told you that the occupancy rate in my area was 15%, but I managed to get at least 90% bookings each month. So it was like my house was getting booked at least 25 days a month. So I was making somewhere around 40 to 45,000, and I have increased the price from 1,500 to 2,000, and after that 2,500. Once I was getting that much booking, I increased the price. So I was making pretty good amount, but as you know, God had another plan for me. So I was even about to become super host on Airbnb if I could host one last booking before 1st of January. But I had 4 bookings, but I had to cancel all 4 in the December, and I couldn't become super host, which was really disappointing. And if I could have continued, I would have been getting at least like 25 to 27 bookings a month, and things were be going properly. I would say, like, I have done this 3 months and I have made close to 70,000-80,000, I would say. So what are the learnings from this particular startup? So the very first learning that I had from this particular startup, you can do all your research, you can be 100% right with your data and with your research, but when you're dealing people offline, when it's an offline business, you cannot put uncertainties aside, because that will be number one factor that may cause your business to shut down. COVID was one of them. at the very beginning, don't go for earning a lot of money, but go to stabilize a particular business. Because what I did, even though I did this business 3 months, but I was pretty consistent. I was doing all this stuff on my own. I was cleaning the house, I was serving the guest, I was doing all the stuff that I could to make guest experience. My overall rating was 5-star, not even 4.9, but the 5-star. Each and every guest mentioned that they have got number of facility from my end, because I was just one call away from them. They were calling me like, okay, I am having this particular issue, can you help me with that? And I was saying, okay, you may fix this by this. If they were having any water problem, that the water was there 24/7, and drinking water is also available to them. Although keep this in mind, no guest wants to disturb you, because they want free time with whosoever they are coming. So if they are calling you and asking for a solution for a particular issue, make sure that this is something big, otherwise they will not call you. So you have to make sure that you solve that particular problem, make them feel happy so that they can enjoy the rest of their time at your place. So this was all about my Airbnb rental business experience. If you have done this particular business, please let me know your experience, and I'm definitely going to do this business in future again with a lot of caution and with a lot of prior planning. I don't know when I'm going to start this again, but you have done this business. Please let me know what practices you follow to challenge all the 4-5 issues that I have mentioned, so that I can also make sure when I will be starting this again. Thanks for watching. Wish you the very best, and see you in the next video.